What if the most feared monster in religious history was actually an ancient cover-up designed to hide the secret electrical highway inside your own skull? In part 1 of this esoteric series, we talked about the Anunnaki and how the Anunnaki is not what you think. The part 1 esoteric series, we revealed how the human body acts as a living, high-voltage antenna, mapping an unbroken mathematical line from the ancient sky gods down through the 12 pairs or 24 individual cranial nerves firing inside your own skull. We looked at how the ancient city of Ur, or downstepped cosmic electricity through the lens of the moon, and how the 24 Gnostic elders stand as the biological seeds of human perception. But once you realize the perfect blueprint of the cosmos is mapped directly into your biology, a deeper question emerges. How do we actually interact with this power? How did the ancients maintain and heal this intricate nervous system before modern institutional medicine took over? To find the answer, we have to uncover a massive historical cover-up. We have to travel back to the 27th century BCE to Egypt in order to trace the original serpent of wisdom from the Sumerian god Enki to the legendary sage Imhotep. And so today we are going to reclaim the true alchemical blueprint of healing. We are exposing the non-dual truth of the authentic Corpus Hermeticum and revealing how a 2nd century text from Hermes Trismegistus used the code of 24 to map the entire universe. So grab your coffee, open up your mind, and let's take a look at this medicine. In the modern world, you and I have been consistently and systematically conditioned to look at the serpent with immediate fear, suspicion, and disgust. Mainstream religion and pop culture have taught us that the snake is the ultimate universal symbol of sin, deception, and the devil. But to the ancients, the serpent was not a monster. The serpent was a biological technology. It didn't represent evil, it represented the raw reality of human suffering, married to the profound transformative wisdom required to overcome it. And to see this pattern in the purest form, we have to look at the master architect of the ancient world, Imhotep. Walking the earth in the 27th century BCE, Imhotep was a true polymath. He was the brilliant visionary who engineered the world's very first stone pyramids, a legendary sage, and the absolute high priest of medicine. He was so advanced in his understanding of the human anatomy and natural laws that centuries later, the Greeks deified him as a god. But esoteric history reveals that Imhotep's lineage and medical philosophy were not invented out of thin air. They were heavily patterned after an even older archetype, the ancient Sumerian god Enki. Enki was the Mesopotamian god of the subterranean waters, the lord of creation, and the master of hidden deep wisdom. And across all ancient cuneiform iconography, what was the primary symbol of Enki and the entire lineage of Imhotep? It was the serpent. They understood that the spine and the nervous system operate like a snake, conducting the electrical currents of consciousness through the physical form. This narrative weaves together millennia of mythology and medical history, tracing the origins of the healing arts from ancient Mesopotamia through Egypt and into Greece, culminating in the iconic symbol used by organizations like the World Health Organization and the American College of Physicians. And we can look closely at their logos. The snake is still there. Why, you ask? Well, because the ancient mystery schools operated on a profound psychological law of survival. They taught that the healer must bring the serpent directly to the wound it created. And if we think deeply about what this means, in your life when you experience trauma, heartbreak, betrayal, or physical illness, that is the venom of existence. Modern society tells us to run from the poison. We numb it with distractions, we meditate it away, or we beg an external deity to magically swoop down and erase it. But the ancients knew that true healing is alchemical. You do not run from the venom. You look directly into the eyes of the adversary. By bringing the serpent back to the wound, you face your pain, confront your shadow, and you use the hard-earned wisdom of that exact suffering to draw the poison out. This was a universal pattern of self-mastery. Enki's cosmic wisdom became Imhotep's physical medicine, and centuries later, during the Hellenistic and Greco-Egyptian periods, the Greeks explicitly equated the deified Imhotep with their own mythological hero and god of medicine, Asclepius. In Greek tradition, Asclepius was the son of Apollo, taught in the healing arts by the wise centaur Chiron. His sanctuaries, known as Asclepia or Asclepions, served as holistic hospitals and early centers of medical tourism where seekers from across the ancient world traveled to align their minds and bodies for healing. Asclepius held a staff entwined with a single snake, the literal symbol of transmuting poison into power. It is the same geometric blueprint that the biblical narrative of Moses claims when he left a bronze serpent in the wilderness to instantly heal his people, and the exact same metaphor that the story of Christ uses to describe ultimate transformation. For thousands of years, the goal of human evolution was internal balance, wholeness with material health, and wholeness with the divine mind. But as institutional powers rose, the understanding of this non-dual internal alignment was intentionally broken, and to fix the signal, we have to bypass the modern illusions. Millions of people today study esoteric philosophy through a famous text called the Kybalion, chasing what they believe are the 7 ancient Hermetic principles of Hermes Trismegistus. But true historical scholars know a secret. Those 7 principles do not exist anywhere in the actual ancient Corpus Hermeticum. The Kybalion was written much later, in 1908, heavily blending modern American psychology with an ancient Egyptian aesthetic. It is a modern dualistic distraction, because if you read the real authentic ancient Corpus Hermeticum, you discover a mind-blowing truth. There is no devil. True Hermeticism is fundamentally non-dualistic. It teaches that everything in existence stems from a single divine source. There is no independent cosmic war between a god of good and an independent god of evil. The texts declare that the real enemy is not a horned monster outside of you, but it is the ignorance that is within you. As Book 10 of the Hermetica states, the vice of the soul is ignorance. When the authentic texts use Greek word daemons, translated today as demons, they aren't talking about Christian devils or rebels fighting God. A daemon in classical antiquity was an intermediary spirit, a force of nature, or an inner guiding genius executing destiny. And when ancient traditions wanted to present these deep cosmological truths, they relied heavily on the legacy of Hermes Trismegistus. Look no further than the famous medieval Hermetic text, the Book of 24 Philosophers. In this text, a council of exactly 24 wise men gathered to define the ultimate nature of the divine. They provide exactly 24 distinct, mind-bending definitions of God, culminating in the legendary aphorism, God is an infinite sphere whose center is everywhere and whose circumference is nowhere. The text uses the mathematical framework of 24 to reveal that the divine consciousness is not an external entity sitting on a cloud, but an omnipresent biological geometry that operates within you. Every spark of life is the center of the universe, meaning the throne of God sits right inside your anatomy. This numerical matrix of 24 is shown everywhere. Have you ever wondered why our day is systematically divided into exactly 24 hours? In ancient esoteric lore, this 24-hour chronological innovation was historically credited directly to the calculations of Hermes. It wasn't a random choice. It was designed to show that time itself is a 24-part cycle filtering down from the heavens into human biology. And to find the physical map of this order, you have to look at the genuine Technical Hermetica, specifically a 2nd century text known as the Cyranides. The structural blueprint of this ancient text perfectly anchors our universal narrative of the human brain. The first book of the Cyranides is systematically divided into exactly 24 chapters. Why? Because it maps directly onto the 24 letters of the Greek alphabet. For every single one of those 24 letters, Hermes Trismegistus classifies 4 distinct realms of the material world: a plant, a bird, a fish, and a stone. It was a flawless mathematical classification system mapping the entire material macrocosm onto a 24-part grid. The ancients left us these texts to show that time, nature, and human consciousness share the exact same numeric layout. The 24 hours of the day, the 24 definitions of the philosophers, 24 chapters of the Cyranides are all the literary mirror to the 24 individual pathways of your cranial nerves. And when you break free from the ignorance of externalized fear, you realize that the serpent was never your enemy. It was the spinal highway of your own awakening. But our journey through this matrix is just beginning. This is a multi-part series of esoteric studies. And in our next video, we are going to expose the exact historical coordinates where this universal non-dual blueprint was violently fractured. We will travel to ancient Persia to decode the exact time period they invented the externalized devil using Zoroastrianism. We will reveal that the visual propaganda that turned the nature god Pan into a weapon of mass psychological panic, unmasking the hidden linguistic trap left in words like pandemic and pandemonium. And finally, we will unpack the ultimate Greek warning, Pandora's box, revealing how an ancient allegory of runaway, uncontrollable forces is playing out in real time today as we prepare to unleash an artificial matrix upon global society. You don't want to miss the next piece of this puzzle. So be sure and hit that subscribe button, hit the little bell, drop your thoughts on the alchemical serpent in the comments below, and get ready for this next video, guys. Peace out.